There are a lot of things that you haven't been told about cervical cancer. But hold on, don't be scared. I'm here to take you through it. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amadi and today we are discussing cervical cancer. January has been set aside to create awareness for cervical cancer, and so today on Health Hub 360 we are also discussing cervical cancer. Kindly subscribe if you are new here and click on the bell button to get notified whenever we upload a video. Also remember to share and comment. Let's get started. Let's start with the anatomy of the female reproductive organ. We have the external and the internal, and we are going to briefly explain the parts of the external female reproductive organ. We are starting with the mons pubis, that is the rounded fatty part above the pubic bone. And then we have the labia majora, the outer folds of skin surrounding the vaginal opening. And then we have the labia minora, inner folds of skin protecting the vaginal and urethral openings. Then we have the clitoris. That is a sensitive organ that is located at the top of the vulva, and it is involved in sexual arousal. Then lastly, we have the vaginal opening, the entrance of the vagina. With the internal female reproductive organs, let's start by explaining the functions of the fallopian tubes. These are the tubes connecting the ovaries to the uterus, where fertilization typically takes place. We have the ovaries, which are the paired organs producing eggs, that is the ova, and the female hormones, which includes the estrogen and progesterone. The uterus, what we typically call the womb, is the organ where a fertilized egg implants and develops into a fetus or a baby. The cervix, which is our focus for today, acts as a gateway between the uterus and the vagina, providing structural supports to the uterus and allowing the passage of menstrual blood, sperm, and eventually facilitating childbirth. So, what causes cervical cancer? The human papillomavirus can cause cervical cancer by infecting the cells of the cervix. Certain high-risk type of HPV, particularly HPV-16 and HPV-18, can lead to persistent infections. Over time, these infections can cause changes in the cervical cells, leading to the development of precancerous lesions, and if left untreated, may cause cervical cancer. Early initiation of sexual activity can be associated with an increased risk of cervical cancer due to its connection with human papillomavirus exposure. The HPV is a sexually transmitted infection that plays a major role in the development of cervical cancer. When individuals engage in sexual activities at a young age, they may have a higher likelihood of being exposed to HPV. Younger individuals might have less developed immune systems, making them more susceptible to persistent HPV infections. If the immune system is unable to clear the virus, especially high-risk HPV types, it can lead to long-term infections that contribute to the development of precancerous lesions on the cervix. Over time, if these lesions are left untreated, they may progress to cervical cancer. Therefore, early initiation of sexual activities increases the chances of encountering HPV. Also, Having multiple sexual partners may elevate the risk of HPV infection. A weakened immune system can increase susceptibility to HPV infections, that is the human papillomavirus. The immune system typically clears the virus from the body, but in individuals with weakened immunity due to conditions like HIV/AIDS, immunosuppressive medications, or other immune disorders, the body may struggle to mount an effective defense against HPV. This reduced ability to fight off infections can lead to a higher likelihood of persistent HPV infections, which in turn may contribute to the development of HPV-related complications, including certain cancers. Smoking can also weaken the immune system, making it less effective at clearing HPV infections. Persistent infection with high-risk HPV is a primary cause of cervical cancer. Again, still on smoking, the chemicals in tobacco smoke can induce changes in cervical cells, making them more susceptible to the effect of HPV and increasing the risk of precancerous or cancerous cell development. A family history of cervical cancer itself is not a direct cause of the disease, but it can contribute to an increased risk. Genetic factors and shared environmental influences within families may play a role in the development of cervical cancer. Now let's discuss the symptoms of cervical cancer. For the symptoms of cervical cancer, one can experience back pain, bleeding or pain during or after sex, abnormal vaginal discharge, any abnormal vaginal bleeding, abdominal pain, bleeding between your period, and bleeding after menopause. What are the strategies for preventing cervical cancer? Early detection and screening like pap smear and HPV test play a pivotal role in detecting cervical abnormalities early on. Detecting issues can significantly improve treatment outcomes. Also, practice safe sex, have a healthy lifestyle, and avoid smoking completely if possible. Thank you all for joining us today as we shed light on cervical cancer. Remember, knowledge is power, and by understanding the risk and taking proactive measures, we can work towards a healthier future. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share and subscribe. Stay informed, stay empowered. Until next time, take care.